is Irontrader, and it is Thursday morning. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, and natural gas. Now, the indexes on the future of the NASDAQ are pretty flat. But remember, there's a lot of earnings going on here today. Valero will have their numbers here before the bell, and then after we got Intel and you got Ford. So you got to stay very, very sharp. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation advice on the stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, first on the docket here, we have the old Bitcoin. Okay, now, I always point out how strong this 8-day is, and see how it's proving itself. Didn't get through, got through, couldn't close above, got through, couldn't close above, and now here we are. Okay, so upside, this is what we're watching, is this 8-day simple moving average. 110, 110.19 level. Okay, that's what we're looking for. That's going to be very, very key. Now, we get above that, we can go to today's high at 110.505. And we're looking to yesterday's high at that 111.65. We'll come up to this bad boy here at 111.945. And then we'll come up there 112.280 level. Then we'll be looking right here for this 100-day. That's your big target if we can close above this a simple moving average. Okay, now, next level, obviously, is going to be that 50-day. Let me see if I can dial them in there for you. Yeah, there he is, 114.440, and then your 21-day at 115.179. So there's a lot of resistance. Only the price is only above the 200 SMA here. Okay. Now you notice how we're holding this area here very, very nicely here on a closing basis. So you just go right to the left of the chart here. See how nice we're holding this. Okay. So yeah, did we go lower? Absolutely. But we're holding it. Do we go lower? Yes, but we're holding it. See how nice this is? This holding this bottom situation. The key is going to be getting up and over that 8 SMA here. Okay. Now on the downside, what are we watching? Well, we're doing everything just in reverse. Okay. So we're going to do right there is going to be 109.270. That's going to be your support level. Okay. Then we'll come over to the bottom of this candle right here at 108.555. That's your support level. Then we'll come over right here to this 107.790. Level, and then we're going here to yesterday's low. That's what you always want to look at. It's 106.950. Okay, now we start losing that. We're going to come right to the bottom of that candle right there, 105.540, and then we have your retest down there, 103.837 level. And then obviously, if we lose that, we have this 50-day sitting right here. Okay, right at that 102.916. Now, if we lose that, all we do is we take this price channel. See that? 99.90, that's just the bottom of that candle. Then we just bring this bad boy right over here like that, okay? 93.685, and we just keep on right on going here. You got 89, and then we come down here. You got 84 level. Then we have the 83 level. Then we have your 100-day here at that 81 level, okay? But again, you got to lose that 50-day in order to do all of that kind of a situation. So right now, we're just holding this possible consolidation period. Okay, this is going to be very, very key. But again, just watch the bottom of that candle right there, 107.680. That's really what we need to hold on a closing basis. If not, you're going to come down and retest this 103.837 level right there. Okay, now this 8-day, very, very crucial. Okay, we got to get back above that 110 level. You get above that, then we can aim for the candles and we can shoot right up here for that 100 SMA here. So again, we had a really big time sell-off, but for me, it's been some really good trading. These areas where we had these big red candles, I just traded a BITI, which is a short, which worked out really, really nice until we hit this bottom. Okay, you could that bottoming tail came right down to that 200-day, and then I'm just trading on alongside the BITX. Now, if you're in here before the 29th on the BITX, they're paying I believe it's a 59-cent per share dividend here, and that'll be paid out on the 30th, 31st, something like that. Yeah, so you'll be getting that here every month is how they pay their dividend. Now, we look at the hour side here. This is not overbought or oversold. The green is below your red. But again, we're way on the bottom here if this could possibly curl up because we already had this sell-off. But if you look at this chart here, we still had this nice series of higher high situation. We topped out at that 127.240. We never made to that 130 level that I was looking for. But again, this is going to be railing up here very, very nicely if we can get above that key 8 simple moving average. Now, here by Friday, which is only 1 day away, we have this 112.980 level. That's your 21-day, and we have that 113.645. So right now, the 8-day is still above that 21-day. It did not curl over. Okay, so we like to get above that level. We like to get above that level, and that would give us a little bit of a security here that we could possibly go higher let's just see how that shakes out. Right now here, this is not overbought, oversold, but you notice when this does sell down, even like it's sold down there, it's not really getting to an oversold level. We're coming right here about the medium range kind of a situation. Now your MACD is the green below your red, which shows momentum there to the downside, which is pretty obvious here. But let's see how we can work this out here by Friday. We'll be looking for that 112 and 900 and that 113,643 level. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we have the gold and silver. Now, I always say as long as it's above that 8-day, we have sideways to up action, which we've had for a long time. Now, when it came down, I said, well, if we lose that 8-day, yeah, we have support here, but really you got to go down to that catch-all when basically that's what it did. Okay, so we put a bottoming tail. Now we have that, what they call an indecision candle. Okay, doesn't know what the hell to do here. So on the downside, what we're really watching is we watch the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 40.93. Okay, come down here, 40.79. But right here is going to be key, is that 45 on a closing basis. Then we can retest this level right here at that 40.21 level. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Now, we start losing this 21-day. Yes, we have support all the way down here. But realistically, your target's going to be that 50-day at 37.73 level. Okay. Now, upside, we want to get today's high is 41.52. We're looking at yesterday's high because right now we have an inside day. Your high and low is inside the previous day's high and low. That's what we're looking for, is at 41.75. But this is the big boy right here, that 42.18. You have to get back above that in order to start retesting that 43.98 level. Okay. Now, way nosebleed overbought situation. Came right on down. Now we have a little bit of sideways action here. Okay, something like this here has lasted a lot longer than what I thought it was, but actually with some really good trading. I just scalped it pretty much daily on the GLD. But sometimes, when you start having these nosebleeds all the way up into the 85 level, it's time to says, hey, I got to get out. If it goes higher, who gives a shit? We'll find something else. Okay. Now MACD, you can see where it crossed over that red. That shows momentum to the downside, and that's pretty much what we have. So bottom line, what you want to do is just watch yesterday's candle. 41.75 on the high, 40.21 on the downside. That's what we're trading. If it starts expanding, then we watch that 21-day, and then we watch that 8-day. Okay, silver, same thing. But again, this looks like pretty much like a bear flag situation, so you got to be a little bit careful here. See how I had this red pole, and then it rallied up here, and then boom, down she went. Now we have the same thing like a bear flag situation. Okay, now we have to get it back above that 48.65, and then we had next level, big level, is going to be that 40.51 level. Okay, now there is a resistance right there. Okay, so you're looking at 48.75. We're looking right up there. You're looking at 49.66 level, and then we come down there at 50.08, and then you have your 50.41. But realistically, your big target is going to be that 8 simple moving average. But right now we have a bear flag situation. Now, if this rallies up and it goes to that 8-day, well, that could negate that bear flag. Okay. And so always look for patterns. Now, on the downside, we're watching today's low. We're looking at 47.64. Come down here, we're looking at 47.12. And then we'll look at yesterday's low at that 46.82 level. Okay. You can see how nice that's holding right straight across. We lose that, then here's your target right here at that 45.71 level. Okay. Then we'll come over top of this candle here, 44.77. But your big target is going to be right there at that 44.14 level. So right now we had that like a bear flag and then slow down, bear flag situation. So if it keeps on cracking down and we lose yesterday's low, then that bear flag will play out, and we're looking for that 50-day retest. Now, we get it back above that 21-day. Well, your big target, I say, we're looking for that 8-day. And then once we crack above that, then we have all this nice up here, 51.61 level, 51.83 level, come up here, 52.63, and then your big retest, 53.76. Now, way overbought conditions, pretty much like I say I have on gold. Now she's coming down, and now it's more a little bit manageable at 54. The green over your red shows momentum to the downside. So I would be very, very patient with this to see if that bear flag actually plays out. All right, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, crude oil here has been a very good trade on the long side and on the short side. So I sold out of the SCO. I got stopped out of the SCO yesterday. And I took a long trade on the UCO for a simple reason is I always say, okay, we have plenty of crude oil. There's no question about it. But the T-Man put sanctions on 2 big oil companies, okay, in Russia, okay? And I say any kind of a news, anything like that, always affects crude. That's why I like trading crude, because it seems like it's always in play. So we had this inverse head and shoulders pattern. It says going to the 200-day. That's where we went. This was that war premium. Okay, now we have this tariff premium or sanction premium that he's going to put sanction here on the old Russian oil kind of a situation. Okay, so that always, any kind of a news, any kind of disruption, anything always takes crude oil higher. Now we got this low all the way down here at 55.96, which when you really look at it here, we've held this 55.30 and we held this 55.12. So we didn't get to that 55.12, but again, remember, these were just bottoming tail situation. Those are your big targets. And then if you lose that, then you go 53, 50, 47, and then down to 43 even. But again, it's very, very possible just because we have a run up here on the situation. Now we have a double top. Okay, double top, and now we're selling on down, but it looks like we have a really nice good rally. I jumped in the UCO. I'm still long, but I'm going to see what's going to happen when it hits that 50-day simple moving average. So that's your upside target right there, is 62.22. Okay, that's what we're looking for on the 50-day simple moving average. Next in line is going to be right here at 62.92 level. Okay, right there, and then we'll come up to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 63.89. And then we have 64.48. Right above it, we have your 65.86, your 200-day. Then we have your retest up here at that 66.42 level. Okay, so it went through the 8-day. Now the 8-day is curling up. Okay, we were fighting it all the way on down. Now you got above yesterday. That was a really, really good tell that said we got above that 8-day. And 21-day did not react like we had in the past. But again, always listen to the news, what's going out there. Anything affects crude oil will take it higher, especially at these low points here at that 55 mark. Okay, so bottom line, we've held this 55.30, held that 55.20 level, and now we're having a nice good rally on up here. We'll kind of see how long it lasts. Now, what we had here, it didn't get down to an oversold, but came down to that 30 level. And it rallied up here 54, and we're sitting here at the bottom, not really bottom, but we're sitting at the bottom. Looks like the green crossed over your red. So it's a really, really nice trade. So I am watching today this 50 SMA here to see, is it going to blast above that? Then I'll hold the UCO. If not, I dump out of that UCO. Okay, downside. Well, we're looking at this 21-day here, right there. Okay, 60.58. That's going to be your key support level. Now, if we lose that, then we'll come down here to today's low at 59.64 level. And then what we'll be looking for is this 8-day at 58.46. Okay, that is going to be your downside targets. Then if we lose that, you come down to the bottom, 57.34. We have 56.35 level, and then your retest of 55.96. We lose that, you have 55.12. Okay, so very, very easy, very, very simple chart. We just go level to level. We went right into the 8-day, but you notice the next day, as soon as you can hear those sanctions, if anybody fools around with crude oil, it automatically starts rallying up higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natty gas. Now, this has been a really, really good trading situation, okay? Let me big that up for you. There you go. Now you're talking. Okay, so basically what we're looking for here is this 200 SMA. You're sitting at 3.46. You can see how we're just hanging around. But we have this double top situation right here, okay? And then we retested that double top, and you notice that it couldn't get through it. We made that high, a 357. We're looking for 358 right there. So you came pretty damn close, okay? Now we just hanging right around here on a sideways action. So upside, we're watching this, obviously, is today's high, 349. You're going to be watching that 350. Then we'll come up here at 352, 355. But realistically, that 358, that's what we're looking for. We get above that, and then we got right here at 362, and then we come up right up here at 375. We come up there at 4 flat, and then roughly 450. Okay? Very, very easy. Now, downside. Watching yesterday's low because we have an inside day. So we're watching yesterday's low, 338. Then we'll come to the bottom of this candle here at 335. Okay? Then we'll come to the bottom there at 331. That's your support levels. Okay? And then what we're going to be looking for is this 21-day at 325. Okay, and then we have your 8-day, 100-day at 322, and then we can zip down here to that 50-day at 306, and then we have your gap fill at 302. But right now, we just have sideways action. But just watch this double top. You have to get above that 358, then that would negate that double top, and then we can start running all these levels here, and you can go all the way up here to that 4.90. Okay, so there's plenty of room to run, but we have to get above and close above that 358 level. So for me, this was a really good trade on UNG. Now I'm just scalping it daily. Now I'm not trading anything on the short side because we have a nice good chart here of a low, higher low and a higher low situation, and we're coming at the time of the year of this winter time that natural gas could have a really, really nice rally. But what I'm doing is I'm watching that 358. We close above it. Yeah, then I will jump balls out because I know your next target is going to be 362, and then your next target is going to be 375, and then 4, and then we can come up to 415. But it has to get above there. So right now for me, it's just daily trades. Okay. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here, at midday trading. And remember, there's a lot of earnings that are coming out here. Now, Tesla had their numbers yesterday, and I can't believe that they had good revenue, but they didn't have any earnings. They stunk that up. And the stock is down here about 12 here today. Okay, so I don't know. Netflix, they got hammered yesterday. It's up there a little bit there again today, but they got hammered about a buck 20 there, right off the top of that stock. So you can see here now, earnings season, if you're not making the numbers, they're going to kill your stock out pretty hard. Okay, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.